This is NET, National Educational Television.
This is PBS, the Public Broadcasting Service.
This is PBS. PBS.
PBS. PBS.
Hello and welcome to This is Public Broadcasting. I'm your host, Captain Rutledge. This month, I'd like to celebrate the 90th birthday of a very special guy. Incidentally, it's also the 90th birthday of stage and screen star James Earl Jones. From a Mississippi farm to the stages of New York City, James Earl Jones proved to be one of the most versatile actors in American entertainment, from his Tony Award-winning performance in The Great White Hope to his Golden Globe-nominated performance in Claudine and his Shakespearean roles like Othello, King Lear, Oberon, and Claudius. Oh yeah, and he also voiced these two guys.
You must avenge my death, Kimba. I mean, Simba. Luke, I am your father. This is CNN.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
What often gets overlooked in Jones's career is his time on the screens of public television with the anthology program Long Ago and Far Away.
I don't know about you, but I love faraway places.
From 1989 to 1992, Jones introduced the program as himself, a role he never got to play too often in his lengthy screen and stage career. Still, he never appears uncomfortable or uninterested. He enjoys himself on the set.
That gives me an idea. Prithee, kind sir, send me a pie that angels might bake, with crusts of gold and sauce as red as my true love's lips, with pepperoni and extra cheese. Please.
Heck, he stuck around for a while. James Earl Jones is only one part of the show, though. The other part is the stories that he introduces. Stories on the show range from fairy tales to folk stories, and all items in between, told through mediums like live-action acting, hand-drawn animation, and stop-motion puppetry. And today we're going to count down the top 10 episodes of Long Ago and Far Away. So, without further ado, on with the countdown. Number 10. The Fool of the World and the Flying Ship. Based off an old Russian fairy tale, this short film from British animators Brian Cosgrove and Mark Hall tells the story of a young foolish woodcutter who, while searching for his brothers, comes across an old hermit that grants the woodcutter a flying ship out of gratitude for sharing a meal. While taking the ship to present it to the Tsar, he comes across several different people with amazing abilities, all wanting to offer their services to the Tsar. When the group arrives, the Tsar tries everything in his power to get rid of them, but the woodcutter's companions help the woodcutter win every challenge posed to them. To some eyes, the stop motion of Cosgrove Hall can look uncanny and slightly creepy. In my eyes, though, I find it fairly charming, almost like a marionette show. Each of the puppets is highly detailed in design, the props and sets are exquisite, and the voice acting is top-notch, including a narration from Hercule Poirot himself, David Suchet.
There was a ceremony in the palace every day of the year because the Tsar Nikolai, mightiest of the mighty, most feared among the feared, enjoyed ceremonies.
Of course, the story can drag in areas, especially in scenes between the woodcutter and the princess, but on the whole, it's an enjoyable short film. Don't be a fool and miss out on it.
Farewell, young prince, farewell.
Number 9. Raag Dreams. What are they? How do they work? Are we in reality? Or just another dream? Hopefully reality. I hate it when people get all matrixy in your face about all this. In the land of Raag, a scientist discovers that Raag's entire being is stuck in the dream of a sleeping man, and their lives would be forever lost after the man wakes up. So the citizens of Raag hatch a plan to keep the man from waking up and remain as they've always been. This short takes an interesting idea of reality only being a dream and crafts an entertaining story about it. The animation reflects this, having a very abstract, dreamlike quality from the buildings in Raag to its citizens. Voice acting from Michael Gough as the professor is very entertaining, along with the narration from Nigel Hawthorne. The director for this short, Tony Collingwood, will later go on to direct the PBS Kids series The Cat in the Hat Knows a Lot About That. All in all, it's surreal, it's entertaining, and it's another great entry on this list.
Please excuse the contraption, but I'm afraid I can't walk yet.
Number 8. As Long as He Can Count the Cows. Every so often, Long Ago and Far Away would feature a live-action short film. Likely the best of the bunch is As Long as He Can Count the Cows. Taking place in the Himalayan nation of Bhutan, a young boy suffers in school due to nearsightedness. His teacher suggests that the boy gets glasses, however his family says he'll be fine as long as he can count the cows. However, the boy's elderly neighbor just might have the solution for him. This slice-of-life documentary shines a light on a long, undiscovered corner of the earth, namely the Himalayan nation of Bhutan. Beautiful scenery and antique lifestyles serve as a background to the daily lives of people trying to eke out a living in the Himalayan foothills. Here, modern life mixes with ancient traditions, from the growing cities and towns to the Buddhist monasteries. Feel free to give this film a watch for yourself.
Well, Bhutan was a fascinating place to visit, and the people were very friendly. Now, I'm ready for a new adventure. Where am I going? It's a surprise.
Number 7. Hungarian Folktales and More Hungarian Folktales. Produced by Hungarian Television, these two programs tell animated versions of Hungarian folk stories and fairy tales. The first program covers Jack Crow, Pinko, and the Hedgehog, while the second program covers The Poor Man's Vineyard, First the Dance and Then the Feast, The Wandering Needle, The Dog, the Egg, and the Rooster, and The Astronomer, the Thief, the Hunter, and the Tailor. Each folktale has a clear moral behind it, like being nice to others, the profits of hard work, both the poor and wealthy are equal in the eyes of God, etc. Where these episodes really stand out, though, is through the animation. Each design is colorful and pays homage to classic Hungarian folk art. It's as if a storybook has just come to life. All of these folktales, and many more, are available for viewing on YouTube, so feel free to check them out for yourself.
Porridge and beans. Then everyone sat down to enjoy the meal.
Yes, everything is hunky-dunky. Very hunky-dunky.
Number 6. Frog and Toad are friends, and Frog and Toad together. These are two of 4 Long Ago and Far Away episodes directed by animator John Clark Matthews. The other 2...
We don't have tongues, we ain't got no brain. Don't have that hips on.
Eep! Based off the books by Arnold Lobel and featuring Lobel as the narrator, these episodes consist of segments with the characters Frog and Toad as they solve problems and go on adventures together. The original Frog and Toad books are charming, endearing, and pretty clever children's books, and here, director John Clark Matthews perfectly translates from book to screen, with veteran voice actors Will Ryan and Hal Smith performing Frog and Toad respectively.
Yes, we need willpower. What is willpower? Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do. You mean like trying not to eat all of these cookies?
You can find both shorts on the John Clark Matthews website, along with a behind-the-scenes short that originally aired during the Long Ago and Far Away broadcast. Round up your friends for an enjoyable viewing.
Frog, I'm so glad that you came over. I always do.
Number 5. The Wind in the Willows and Oh, Mr. Toad. Cheating, I know, but same characters, same universe, my show, you do the math, goodbye, good day, let's continue. Based off the book and characters created by Kenneth Grahame, these two specials follow the adventures of Mole, Rat, Badger, and Mr. Toad around their homes by the riverbank. The first special, the full-length BAFTA award-winning The Wind in the Willows, follows the original Kenneth Grahame novel, with Mole leaving his hole in the ground and becoming friends with Ratty, and Mr. Toad becoming fixated with motor cars. The second special, Oh Mr. Toad, follows our friends' further adventures as the Weasels scheme with a lookalike of Mr. Toad to take over Toad Hall and get rid of Badger, Rat, and Mole. Another entry from Cosgrove Hall, these two specials are by far the studio's magnum opus. Every single puppet and prop is lovingly detailed, from Mr. Toad's Romany caravan to the rocks beneath the river and Badger's memorabilia to the brass on Mr. Toad's cars. Voice actors include David Jason as Toad, Richard Pearson as Mole, and Sir Michael Hordern as Badger, with Ian Carmichael and Peter Sallis playing Rat in each special respectively. They all do a splendid job. I can go on and on about these two specials, but I urge you to watch them for yourself, along with a spin-off TV series. It's like having a laid-back boat trip down the riverbank with good friends.
Shempa! Bufo! Oh!
Number 4. Jaztime Tale. Taking place in Harlem in 1919, this short follows two girls, Lucinda and Rose, as they visit a theater to hear a young Fats Waller play organ during the night's show. All the while, Rose's father is keeping his eyes and ears open for the next great vaudeville talent. Director Michael Sport has a distinct style to his animated films. Every frame of animation in his films is drawn by hand with no input from computers, giving an organic, almost flowing watercolor feel. Story-wise, we have Rose seeing a different side of New York, namely the black neighborhood of Harlem. Each scene of Harlem is full of character, from the gospel church to Lucinda's apartment, and even the theater where Fats plays piano and organ. Despite their different worlds, both Rose and Lucinda form a believable friendship, leading up to a satisfying ending that truly deserves a watch.
Make it rock, 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 make it rock.
Number 3. Bill and Bunny. This Swedish animated short tells the story of a boy named Bill who becomes an older brother when his sister Bunny is born. However, Bunny seems a bit different from other children. She doesn't react to too much around here, and just likes to sit around and tear up paper. Bill and his parents don't know what to do. Can they love her because she's so different? This certain short film strikes somewhat of a personal note with me. You see, during my senior year of high school, I served as an aide to the special education teacher, and in doing so, I got to see the world through the eyes of some of her students. Even though they may have behaved and saw the world differently compared to myself and my other classmates, they were still outstanding in their own way. Often helped me see things in a different light, a bit like in Bill and Bunny. This short captures very well the anxieties, frustrations, and blessings of living with a person on the autism spectrum. Sure, it can be difficult at times, but no matter what, that person will offer a different view of the world. With beautiful modern aesthetic and a calming narration by Kim Loughran, Bill and Bunny is yet another great addition to the long ago and far away story lineup.
Happy or sad, this tale is true. How you see it is up to you.
Number 2. Abel's Island. Michael Sporn strikes once again, this time with you-know-who.
I wish the owl's feathers would all turn to lead, so that it would fall on its head from the tallest tree.
I'll do this with my hands.
Based off the book by William Steig, Abel's Island tells the story of a mouse named Abelard Flint, who gets separated from his wife Amanda during a rainstorm and gets washed down a river to a deserted island. As Abel tries to survive the island's harsh conditions, he learns resourcefulness, discovers hidden talents, and encounters wild creatures, all for the goal of returning to his loving wife. Michael Sporn is an excellent choice to direct this film, as William Steig's faded watercolor illustrations pair brilliantly with Sporn's style of hand-drawn animation. From the brimming summer months to the harsh rain and snow of winter, not a single scene looks the least bit dull. And of course, the voice acting from Tim Curry plays well for Abel's role as a gentleman trying to survive a harsh environment. It all comes together for an uplifting story with a wholly satisfying ending. Feel free to watch for yourself.
Oh, delicious caviar.
Before we get to number 1, just a couple of honorable mentions.
300 years of casting spells and nothing like this has ever happened to me before. People falling asleep all over I just don't understand it.
And he himself was tall and thin, with sharp blue eyes, each like a pin, with light, loose hair, yet swarthy skin, no tuft on cheek nor beard on chin, but lips where smiles went out and in.
Number 1. The Man Who Planted Trees. Yes, here is number 1, an Academy Award winner, and considered one of the greatest animated short films of all time. Based off the book by Jean Jono, this short is about a hiker coming across an old shepherd in the foothills of the Alps. After staying the night in the shepherd's house, he discovers that the shepherd, named Elziard Bouffier, plants trees around the hills and disused fields while all around him, charcoal burners eke out a rough living. As the years pass, Bouffier's seedlings grow into remarkable oaks and beeches, and although the world went through 2 terrible wars, the man who planted trees continued his work. This short was directed by Alsatian-Canadian animator Frederick Bach, who is well known for his animated films based around colored pencil sketches and pastels. In this short, he uses color as one means to tell a story, from the monochromatic dullness in the beginning up to the bright, soft colors used as Bouffier's forest grows across the hills. Story-wise, it draws parallels from Bouffier's trees growing and revitalizing the landscape to the narrator's depression after the First World War and the fulfillment gained from witnessing one man's simple tasks coming to fruition. It gives off an inspiring message of how a single man can be capable of doing the work of God. For all of these reasons, I consider The Man Who Planted Trees to be the best episode of Long Ago and Far Away.
Quiet, regular work, brisk mountain air, the simple life, and above all, peace of mind, had endowed this old man with almost awe-inspiring health.
There are even more episodes of Long Ago and Far Away in addition to the ones that I've mentioned today. Do you have a favorite? Well, feel free to leave your picks in the comments below. And right now, I feel it's time to move on to PBS Member Station Spotlight. So, we've been going all over the country with these spotlights, and it's time once again to draw a new station out of the pretty straw hats. So, let's see who we get. Ooh, here's a little one, I think. It's up to the cold north of Minnesota with Lakeland Public Television. Lakeland PBS consists of 2 stations in northern Minnesota, KAWE Bemidji and KAWB Brainerd. KAWE was started in 1980 as a PBS member station in north-central Minnesota, and its sister station, KAWB, was set up to reach out to markets in the South that couldn't already receive the KAWE signal. Together, they formed Lakeland Public Television. In 2018, the stations were rebranded as Lakeland PBS, and both serve as the main PBS station in north-central Minnesota and the Red Lake and Leech Lake Indian reservations, along with a source for local news within the area. Programming on Lakeland PBS includes regular PBS programs along with Lakeland News, Backroads, Common Grounds, and Lakeland Currents. If you're in north-central Minnesota, you can tune into Lakeland PBS on these stations. With First Nations Experience on the .2 channel, PBS Kids on the .3 channel, Create on the .4 channel, Lakeland Plus on the .5 channel, and the Minnesota channel on the .5 channel.
Well, thank you again to everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, feel free to like, subscribe, and share, ring the bell, follow on Twitter, and also don't forget to support your local PBS station. Some more programming related to Long Ago and Far Away can find its way to your television screens. So in the meantime, I'd like to wish one final happy birthday to Mr. James Earl Jones, and also to that fella I mentioned earlier. And until next time, I'm Captain Rutledge. Good day.
Mm-hmm.